Hey guys, if you're enjoying the content that I'm making, please click that subscribe button. Also remember to click that bell button and make sure to tick that box to send all notifications so you don't miss out on any videos. With that in mind, let's get on with the video. What's up guys, welcome to Monchkinz Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Monchkinz logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. And welcome to my video guide on Rosa's Lost Chapter, Part 14 Hard Mode, a prayer for one deer, and of course this is the Chaos difficulty. So without further ado, let's start this video straight away. Now, as always, we'll start this off with the last boss's abilities, weaknesses, resistances, and the elements that it can absorb. The boss for Rosa's Lost Chapter is called the CRUST BEETLE, and it has a few weaknesses to wind and holy elements. It's not resistant to any elements, and it cannot absorb any elements as well. As for its abilities, it has its normal brave attack, which is a melee brave attack, giant pincers, which is a melee HP attack, blaze, which is a fire range brave attack. This also has a plus version and a plus version. Basically, the plus version is just a better brave damage, and the double plus version inflicts a max brave down and also will have a high turn rate on it as well. Next is Sandstorm, which is a magic brave attack which reduces all targets brave to 0. This also has a high chance of inflicting a attack down debuff. Next is Hatred Power, which basically the CRUST BEETLE will enter an enraged state and will remove all debuffs, frames included, and will raise its attack speed and initial brave, and this will have a low turn rate. Now this also has a plus variant, which basically will do the same thing. It will raise its attack speed and initial brave, but it will be more than the normal Hatred Power, and this will also have a low turn rate. Next, it has Hard Cut, which removes all debuffs without frames and will do a melee brave attack plus an HP attack. Next is CRUST Disaster, which increases its brave when its brave is less than its initial brave, and will do a group melee brave plus HP attack. And it will have Firm Horn, which is a melee brave attack which can inflict a poison and a defense down debuff. Settle Down basically will cancel the enraged state. It will cancel the attack speed and initial brave boost from Hatred Power and Hatred Power Plus. Next up, you will see a couple of texts, and this is basically will increase all its stats. It's called Ferocity Increases, and Ferocity increases further just further raises its stats, and it is immune to the Paralyze and Confuse debuffs as well. Now the main thing with the CRUST BEETLE is Blaze Plus, and Firm Horn will trigger giant pincers when inflicting a break or attacking a target afflicted with break while it's enraged. This will trigger Hard Cut from level 76 and will trigger Blaze Plus at level 75. Okay, so now that we know its abilities, weaknesses, resistances, and elements that it can absorb, it's time to take a look at some general tips and guide. And the first one I have for you guys is to save at least 60% of your abilities for the last boss. And the main reason for this is actually the boss don't have that much HP compared to other bosses. So in more likelihood, 60% of your abilities should be enough. However, if you feel like you are running low on abilities, try to save about 70% and you should be completely fine. The next one is to bring in the boosted characters. In this one, I do highly recommend Rosa and of course Sabin. Unfortunately for Yuri, he doesn't have his EX yet. However, once he gets his EX, if you are watching this in the future or from the future, basically you can bring Yuri here as well. Unfortunately at the moment, at least at the time of this recording, Yuri is just not a very good character just yet. Now other characters that you may want to consider to bring are basically everyone. Everyone can actually pull their own weight on this one. And when I say everyone, it is going to be characters that actually got their EX Plus weapons. So if you have any of these characters EX Plus, and especially if you max limit broke them, then basically that character can actually pull his or her own weight in this fight. So just a quick one is Ultimecia, Warrior of Light, Squall, Locke, Ramza, Balthier, Faris, Lillicet, Kryle, Agris, Garland, Lise, Tifa, Sarah, Vanille, Setzer, Kuja, Bosch, Kimari, or Cloud. So any one of them, and you may notice that some characters don't actually have their EX Plus in this list as well. They can carry their own weight. As for healers plus Brave Battery option, of course, Charlotta, Param, Rem, Katsis, Yuna, Lena, or Ishtola is going to be the choice for you. And for the summon, you have the choice between Ifrit, Shiva, and Ramu. Actually, they are the big three right now, and I just don't like how Leviathan really works. So that's just a little bit biased on my part, but any of the three here is definitely going to help you out. Okay, now let's take a look at some general strategies for this particular fight, and let's start off with the friend support. I do highly recommend bringing Setzer in this fight. Now, the way to use your Setzer friend here is basically when you see that the boss is in its enraged state, so when it uses hatred power, you can bring in your friend Setzer and actually use freeze. Do not use freeze before it actually enraged, because it will just take that debuff off. So this is the best way and effective way to bring in your Setzer friend, to make sure that you don't get, you know, hit by that HP attack when you do get broken by the boss while it's on its enraged state. And speaking of getting broken, do not get broken when the boss is enraged, unless you do have that Setzer friend with a freeze debuff to make sure you don't actually get, you know, hit by an HP attack that will most likely kill you. So do not get broken. That is the biggest mechanic for this boss. The next one is to try and kill the bosses almost at the same time to avoid a super enraged mechanic. Basically, you'll see the hatred power. I do believe it is like ++. I don't remember on top of my head, but it does have some sort of like super enraged mechanic, and you don't really want to deal with that. So the next one is to bring in a healer that can actually revive. Now, I have a few of you guys mentioned in my previous video that, you know, it's not only Rosa and it's not only Ishtola that can revive. Aerith can do that as well, and I do agree. But in this one, I highly recommend just bringing Rosa or Ishtola, because they are the better support and reviver in this fight. And of course, having good luck is going to help out. Sometimes those misses will actually help you out in clearing this fight. Just wait till the end of this video and you'll see I'm actually quite lucky with what happened here. Anyway, continue watching the video and you will see. Okay, so now it's time to take a look at some possible party compositions. In the first one, it's going to be a boosted team with Ultimecia. So Rosa, Sabin, and Ultimecia with a Setzer support, and Shiva for the summon. Again, make sure your re-raise is up at all times, especially if you're using Rosa on all your characters, to make sure they're all there. Ultimecia is here just to save you those turns, those valuable turns, and Setzer can freeze during the enraged turns as well. And Sabin is basically just a DPS on this party composition. Now the next team that you guys are seeing is of course the one that you're seeing in the video. It is Tifa Ultimecia with Sarah with a Setzer support and Shiva for the summon. Tifa is here for the big damage plus these extra small delay whenever you have her EX her EX ability up. Ultimecia is just here again to save turns, and Sarah for debuffs and Brave Battery. You don't really need that much debuffs, however it does help a little bit, especially when they're in their enraged mode. If you can reapply those debuffs, definitely gonna save you a really big hits coming from the bosses. Now the third one here, I have Warrior of Light, Ultimecia, and Ishtola with a Setzer support and Shiva for the summon. Warrior of Light, he is here for shields, however, he is quite replaceable by other tanks. So if you have Kimahri or if you have Bosch, they can definitely replace Warrior of Light here. Warrior of Light is just really great because it has that Brave Battery option, as well as, of course, healing, being able to heal himself, and of course that those shields are really great in terms of blocking those high Brave attacks coming from the boss. Of course, Ultimisia is here again to save turns in your main source of DPS, and Y'shtola is there for the Brave Battery, and of course revives for emergency cases where, for whatever reason, if your Warrior of Light dies, at least you can revive him with Y'shtola. Now the last team I have for you guys here is Cryle, Ultimisia, and Rosa with a Setzer support and Ramuh for the summon. Cryle is here is basically for the ultimate battery for Ultimisia, so that EX Plus is really great as a Brave Battery, especially if you time it right just for Ultimisia. You can save a lot of her abilities and use her HP attack plus in order to deal like her maximum damage already. Ultimisia is here again for main DPS and saving you those valuable turn counts, and of course Rosa is there for safety since she can re-raise and make sure that re-raise buff is always up at all times in your entire party. Alright guys, so we're finally nearing the end of this video, and of course we'll give you guys my final thoughts on this fight. Now of course I'm going to be comparing this with recent events that we had. If I have to compare, this is sort of on par with Kimahri's Chaos fight. So I'd say they're about the same level of difficulty. In terms of the more dangerous Chaos, I feel like this is leaning more towards that. So because the chances of survival, if you do get broken and you don't have the appropriate response or ways to block that HP attack that's incoming, whether it's via Setzer's freeze or applying debuffs or actually having protective shields, there's a high chance that you're actually going to die. When it comes to Kimahri's End Bowl, I forgot the name now already, but the End Bowl ability, you can see that coming as well. However, there's a much higher chance that you will actually survive the End Bowl more than the CRUST Beetle's HP attack that is incoming when it breaks you, because it does have a higher Brave. Now, did I find this particular Lost Chapter harder than Barrett's? Definitely not. I found Barrett's one a lot harder and much more punishing with the turn counts, because you cannot use Ultimisia, or at least you can use her there, but she won't be as effective in Barrett's Lost Chapter. In here, if you have Ultimisia, you may notice all my possible party compositions does involve having Ultimisia in your party, because I highly recommend bringing her here, because she is the one that's going to save you those valuable turn counts. Anyway guys, that's it for this video, and that's my final opinion on this particular fight. Please remember to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Every single one of you who hasn't subscribed and click that subscribe button is going to help me with my little channel to grow even further. And of course, leaving a like on this video is going to help with the YouTube algorithm, making sure that this video does get spread around a little bit more for other people to see. And make sure to follow me on my social media. I am on Facebook and on Twitter at Monchkinz Gaming. And of course, before I do go, I'd like to hear from you guys down below. Which team did you use? Did you actually use Ultimisia on this fight, or did you decide she's too cheesy and you want to beat this without Ultimisia? Let me know down in the comments below. Anyway guys, this is Monchkinz logging off, and I'll see you guys in the next level.